Hello, this is Ed Markey speaking. Welcome to the Ed Markey Podcast. Okay, so...
Let me know. Welcome back, everyone. And this is our final podcast in Earth Week. So we wanted to end this little part of our journey into the Green New Deal with young people who are leading the way, suing, using the courts in order to advance the safety of our planet and their future and the future of all young people in our country and the planet. And we're lucky to be joined today by not only Mat dos Santos, the Co-Executive Director and General Counsel for our Children's Trust, but Isaac, Levi, Alex, 3 Juliana versus United States plaintiffs, as well as Olivia and Layla, who are plaintiffs in cases in Montana and in Virginia. So I thought what might be interesting is we'll just start with Levi. He can tell us a little bit about what got him into this whole area to protect the future, and let him tell his story. And then we're going to let everybody else quickly tell their story.
Yeah. Thank you so much for having me on. So I grew up in Florida. I live in Florida still. And I've always been an outdoorsy type of kid. I'm only 16 right now, but I got involved with climate work when I was about 8 years old, when I really started taking it seriously and really wanted to go somewhere with that. And so I spent lots of time outside, and I was given an opportunity to be part of this lawsuit from people in my community, and it was something that was really important to me. I knew this was a way that I could make something big and actually make a change. So I took that opportunity as soon as I had it.
Beautiful. Do you want to just, Matt, add something at this juncture?
Sure. Just to introduce myself?
Yeah, please. Yeah.
Great. Sure. My name is Mat dos Santos. I'm the Co-Executive Director of our Children's Trust. I have been working on climate and constitutional cases for some time now. Before being at OCT, I was at the ACLU of Oregon, and am just so honored to be here with you and with the young people making change today.
No, thank you for your great constitutional work. By the way, thank all of you for your great constitutional work. So could you introduce yourself?
Hi. Hi. My name is Olivia, and I'm one of the plaintiffs upheld versus Montana, which is the first constitutional climate trial that was able to go to trial. And we won our case, and now in Montana, it is in our constitution it's in our state law or judicial law that we have a right to a clean and healthful environment, and our state has a responsibility to continue that. And then Beautiful. I'm going to pass it.
Hi, I'm Isaac. I'm 21 years old, and I'm a plaintiff in the Juliana lawsuit. I got involved with my climate work at a really early age. My mom was always very active in the environmentalist movement and the denuclearization movement. And so I was always kind of aware of the impending climate catastrophe. And I really wanted to do something about it. And I felt like I was too young. And so I got involved in grassroots organization with 350.org, as well as joining this organization called Plant for the Planet, which is a United Nations environmental program. And from there, I heard about our Children's Trust through the Portland, Oregon environmental grapevine. And then I heard that they were trying to bring another constitutional lawsuit. And I was like, okay, you know what? I'm on board. I like where this is going. And so I signed on.
So how old were you when you started? Your mother is...
Yeah, I was 13 years old, and 13? I'll be 22 on Sunday.
Wow. So that's an incredible journey, and it's just beginning. So let's keep going here. Sure.
Thank you. Well, I'm Alex. Very nice to be here. Thank you for the opportunity. I grew up in rural Oregon, of all places, and on a family farm that's been in the family for over 100 years, actually. It was my great-grandfather's farm. So I grew up very close to nature and saw the ways that climate change was impacting, that both the natural landscape and also the farming operations. Year after year, we broke, it seemed, the record that was set the previous year for heat waves, for fire, for everything else. I actually started out local in my advocacy. I got involved in the fight against the Jordan Cove Pacific Connector pipeline out there in Oregon. And by a fortuitous circumstance, it ended up that pipeline factored into the Juliana case. So I decided at the age of 18, just before going off to college, to ask if I could join this Juliana case. And it's been a crazy adventure for the last 9 years or so.
Are you glad you're doing it?
I am. Yes.
Have you made a difference in your life?
I think so. I think we made a huge difference, and I think we made a difference in really framing the urgency of climate change, and it's the scale of the solutions that are needed to really get us on the right track.
All right, and so batting cleanup is.
Hello, my name is Layla Hassanzada. I'm 19 years old and I am the named plaintiff in the constitutional climate case Layla H v. the Commonwealth of Virginia. I got involved with my case a little over 2 years ago now, and I first heard of Juliana v. the United States when I was 13 years old. That year I had a science project on plastics in the ocean, and I started to discover that the environment was degrading at a rate that I couldn't keep up with myself. When I was, I think, a sophomore or junior in high school, I joined an environmental club that my friend was having, and OCT came to present there, Our Children's Trust. And in that moment, I discovered that there was something I could do. And, as someone who is an EMT, a pre-medical student, I've realized that the health of the people around me is something I care a lot about, and I think it's definitely going to be impacted by the worsening of our climate change.
But you are all generational leaders. Thank you so much for everything that you are doing in different states and different angles. We only have one microphone, so just passing it around, trying to be energy efficient. So to the extent to which you're all incredible climate leaders, generational leaders, talking for your generation and generations to come, fighting against what preceding generations have done to pollute and to create this problem, you are arriving with solutions. So Matt and Isaac, can you talk from your perspective why it's so important to have young people as part of this constitutional challenge?
Sure. Well, young people have been part of every civil rights movement in this country since the country was founded. And young people have really been at the heart of the biggest civil rights victories and constitutional victories that the United States has on the books. Everything from, desegregation up to the importance that children played in same-sex marriage and the fight for marriage equality. So it is not surprising to me that children would be at the forefront of taking bold climate action. Children have often been visionaries and can see the things that those of us who have been around for a while often can't see. And so I think it's incredibly important for us to be passing the mic, both literally and figuratively, to the next generation and seek solutions from them.
No, that's great. When I was 15, I did my science project on all of the atmospheric nuclear testing, the nuclear bombs that were being exploded by the Russians, Soviet Union, and the United States. And all of the strontium-90 was then being carried by the clouds. And then when it rained, the strontium-90 went into the grass, the cows ate the grass, and it was in the milk of every child. Because adults had decided they were going to use the atmosphere for nuclear testing. So that's what my science project was on, in the same way yours was on plastics. That's what got me interested. And when the Russians and the United States signed the agreement, no more nuclear testing, you know who they gave the award to? They gave it to Linus Pauling, the scientist who identified this risk to children, right, in our country. So that's what you're doing. You're saying it's a risk to children that climate change is going unaddressed, and we need to do a lot more. So, Matt, will you talk? Isaac, will you talk about how important having young people as part of this movement is?
No, yeah, just elaborating on what Matt already said. Youth understand the severity of this problem, this issue. We have made blatantly aware of this with mass globalization of media. We are we have the computers in our hands, and we can see what the impacts of the climate crisis look like, not only in our own local areas, but also across the world. And as a generation, we're trying to be global citizens and understand that this problem is much bigger than us. We can't choose profit over people, and we have to do the right thing and advocate for climate rights for young people and older people, and create the change that we really want to see in the world.
Okay, so let's let each one of you, we'll conclude on this, although I do have a little quiz for you to answer. But what keeps you in this fight? You know, why are you battling so hard? And we'll just go in reverse order. We'll go with you, Layla, and give you, the mic so you can tell us what it is that motivates you, what gets you up, what keeps you in the fight.
For me, part of it is I'm now an aunt. I have a 2-year-old niece, and so I want to hand down a future in a world in which she can play on the playground without fear of breathing in, air pollution, where she can play in the waters and feel comfortable and feel safe. And also just knowing that there are so many people supporting us from all over the globe, that we are few representing the majority of people who are disturbed by how our environment is degrading. It does give me hope, because there are a lot of people who agree with us and see that's what it was.
Some beautiful.
Well, I'd say a few different things. This is Alex Losnack, by the way. I'd say a few different things. I believe in people. I think that most people want to do something about climate change, no matter what your beliefs are, your political leanings, your religion, or anything else. Most people want the solutions that we need. I'd also say, I think, that as a participant in a lawsuit, that the law is what we make it, whether through legislation, of course, as you've been doing for many years, or through litigation and how we interpret laws. The climate system is real, like all the carbon going up into the atmosphere is real, but how we respond to that is really up to us.
Yeah, beautiful. And by the way, that generation exploding nuclear weapons, they were just using the atmosphere as a big garbage can for radioactive material that was going to harm everybody. And that's what greenhouse gases are. They're just very dangerous materials that harm everybody. So, Isaac.
Yeah, what keeps me up and what keeps me going is the fact that I know I'm not the only one doing this work. As a youth, I started doing a lot of climate work when I was 12, 13, and I would literally be the only young person in a whole room of older concerned citizens. And on top of that, I'd be the only person of color, and Black man at that. And so now we're in a new era and age that people are getting mobilized despite generational barriers or racial barriers. And we all are coming to the understanding that we all got to participate. And there's also a space for me within the climate movement for people of color, for people of different gender identities. And it's a very amazing, cool, beautiful community that I didn't see at first, but now it's growing into something.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I have loved this world since I was a little kid. I grew up at a preschool where we hugged trees and we said thank you to Mother Nature. And so I have always loved this world, but I also love people, and that's really what keeps me going, is my love for this beautiful world in which we live in, and the fact that I know that I can make it more beautiful and more loving. And I'm an optimistic person. That's how I was raised, and I just know that we have just this small amount of time to keep doing, so I'm going to do everything I can, because I absolutely know that we can do this. This isn't just, climate justice isn't just possible, it's feasible, and it's going to happen, because there's not another option.
That is fantastic. And, I love the fact that you were hugging trees as a kid. Actually, when I was in the 3rd grade, every one of us had to memorize the poem by Joyce Kilmer. And it was, I think that I shall never see a poem as lovely as a tree. And we memorized it, the entire poem, not just that part. And we had to recite it the entire poem, for Arbor Day, for Tree Day. And somehow or other, a couple of generations in a row, all forgot about it. That poem that kids used to memorize, hug trees, you know? And so what you're doing is you're leading us back to the forest, you know? And you're helping us to realize that we have to preserve it. We have to protect it. And thank you for that leadership. I'm gonna go to you, Levi. Okay, and then we'll wind up with Matt.
All right, sounds good. So, looping back to what Layla said, I have a 3-year-old little sister, and she's the type of kid that she spends like 95% of her day outside. If we can't find her, she'll be outside playing in the dirt, digging, looking at leaves, chasing lizards. She just likes to play outside. And I want to be able to make sure that she has a future on this planet where she can still do those things that she loves. Because she's the type of kid that I think that she's going to always have this like aspect in her life of being outside. And I'm a sailor, so I spend a lot of my time outside on the water. And so I want to be able to protect that, protect the oceans, protect the Indian River Lagoon, which is where I sail. Because sailing is something I want to do in the long term. That's what I want to do for college. I want to go to college for sailing. But I want to be able to protect all these things that I love, and I want to be able to pass those on to future generations and make sure that everybody can be able to experience this in some form. And like once you start something, you gotta finish it. Like it's not something that you can just give up halfway through and not continue with this journey that we've started. And like I love to be able to see that I've inspired other people to take action and to be able to do better than we've done so far, and so that we can win this and we can keep on going and fighting for what we love.
So you want to be a sailor, and like Layla, you don't want the ocean just to be a big dumping ground for plastics, right? So we have to organize and work even harder and better in order to stop using the ocean as a big dumping ground. So Matt, get the final word.
Sure. Well, these people are what keep me going. The young plaintiffs in our cases, the youth who stand behind them, who might not be named in our cases, but who are out there taking collective action, writing to their elected officials, protesting, and demanding action from their government. I think there is one thing that can save us really, and that's collective action. And that's why I'm so proud of the work that all of you all are doing.
Okay, so great job, all of you. And we finish up these podcasts with a game that I like to call Big Oil, a Movie Villain. So I'm going to read a quote, and you have to tell me, do you think it was said by a movie villain or a big oil executive? So, and then this could be like Family Feud.
Oh.
And you guys are the Juliana family, right? So you guys can decide on a joint answer here if you want, so that you are able to get all 3 questions right. So first question, the ability to destroy a planet is insignificant. The ability to destroy a planet is insignificant. Moving on. Big oil executive. Juliana family.
Movie villain.
Are you sure? It sounds like
What's a
big oil executive?
Yeah.
An executive could say that. An executive could
You can
say
see a
that.
big oil? Yep. Which way are you going? Though? You got to make a choice.
I'm going with movie villain.
Movie villain. What do you say?
I said movie villain, yeah.
Movie villain?
Am I the deciding vote?
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say movie villain.
Movie villain. Well, the correct answer is Darth Vader. Darth Vader. But let's be honest, as you're all saying, Big Oil is very happy to continue to destroy our planet every single day of the year, all 365 days, all across the world. So, are you ready for another one?
Yes.
Okay. They're a captive audience. They know they need you, and I need them. They're a captive audience. They know they need you, and I need them. Who's that?
I'm going to say Big Oil.
Big Oil.
Big oil.
Huh?
Yeah.
Big Oil?
Big oil.
Movie villain.
Moving on. Well, you're all good. The Juliana family has voted for Big Oil. And the answer is Exxon lobbyist Keith McCoy.
Wow.
He was caught describing Big Oil attempts to manipulate members of Congress to fight against clean energy. And so, they were saying they know they need you, but I need them, okay, in order to get it done. But the politicians need big oil to help them get reelected, right? And I need them on the floor of the House and Senate to kill it. So thank you so much. You guys got that one right. And so now, not only, is there a captive audience for, in movies, they have a captive audience once you're in there too. So we'll try one last one, okay?
All right.
Okay. Nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. Nobody panics when things go according to plan, even if the plan is horrifying. Big oil executive, movie villain.
This one's tough.
Yeah.
This one's tough. Not as tough as suing on a constitutional right. Okay,
That's true.
which you're doing successfully. So, are you ready?
Movie.
Movie?
Big oil.
Again, it is very hard. They're almost like separated at birth, right? Movie villain and big oil executive. They're it is some kind of Darth Vader. What's the real identity, huh? So. Which way are you guys going? Movie? Correct answer. That was the Joker. That was the Joker in Batman. So you guys got it. But Big Oil thinks everyone will keep putting up with their horrifying plan because that's the status quo. Yeah. Except we got the Juliana family here that's saying business as usual is over, okay? It's a new era, new day is dawning, okay? And you can actually see the sky because the clouds are pulling back, the greenhouse gases are being removed, and this is the group of young Americans who are leading the charge. So just an honor to be with all of you here today. Thank you for all of your great work, and happy Earth Day to everybody, and we'll see you soon. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks for having
Happy
us.
Earth Day.
Happy Earth Day.